right here we have the 2025 Toyota 4Runner, or the 6th generation Toyota 4Runner. And this is the Everest color, or green, like a greenish color. The trim level we're going to be talking about in this video is the TRD Off-Road Premium. So we're going to talk about the specs, what it has to offer, and is it going to live up to the hype? So right here, what we're looking at, this is the iForce 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo engine. And yes, they have the other option, which is the iForce Max 2.4 liter 4-cylinder hybrid engine. And a lot of people are very skeptical on it, which they have every right to be, due to the fact that this is the first generation with this engine. The 4Runner is more known for its V6 engine, and that's the one that's tried and true. So obviously, I understand why people feel the way they feel, but the only way to truly understand or really know if this engine can stand the test of time is time. So you're probably wondering, how much is it for this Toyota 4Runner, this trim level? Well, it's $55,470, and that's the base price for this vehicle. And quite frankly, me personally, I honestly think that's a truly good price, due to the fact that if you were to go to buy a 5th generation right now, they are pretty hot on the market. They're very expensive. They're not a cheap vehicle. And due to the fact that this is the newest generation, this is the newest 4Runner you can buy, and it's only $55,000, I think that's a fair price. But I would like to know what you guys think about the pricing on the Toyota 4Runner. Do you think it's too much, or do you think it's a fair price? I mean, Toyota has built up the reliability trust through a lot of vehicles. So I think they have every right to price a vehicle at a fair price like $55,000. But let me know your opinion. And if you can like and subscribe to the channel, it helps the channel out tremendously, and I would greatly appreciate it. Let's talk about these tires, because they're nice, to say the least. But these are the 18-inch matte black alloy wheels, which they have the TRD center cap right here, which it looks really nice. This is all-terrain tires, so you could take it on all terrains. It also has the TRD off-road Bilstein shock absorbers back here. You can see it back there, which I must say, very good look, very appealing look. You know, you can't go wrong with those TRD center caps. Me personally, I'm a big fan of it. Let's talk about just the things you can see right here. But let me close the hood real quick. Let's get this. So let's start with the black grille. First and foremost, I love the look of it. I love the way that it has the double stack. I know a lot of people make jokes about it looking like a mustache and stuff like that on the internet, but me personally, I'm a fan of the new look. Then you come right over here to the over fenders, which you see, it gives it that strong look, that wide body look, like you put a wide body kit on it, but it's stock to this actual Toyota 4Runner, which I gotta say I'm a fan of the look of it. Then you have the black mirror caps, which it just gives it that whole look with the black running board. Now, I'm not a fan of this one in particular. Not saying I'm against it. It's a very good look. But personally, I'll probably go for a different style. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of aftermarket running boards for the 2025 Toyota 4Runner. And then you can see that it has the black handles as well. With that Everest color, it all comes together really nice. And you even have the roof rails that are black. And you put them all together, and it's just an amazing look in my personal opinion. With the TRD off-road badging, just one of those things that I like the quality that they put into just designing this new Toyota 4Runner. I have to say the outside is flawless. It really is something, they did a good job with this. Okay, so now we're in the back of the Toyota 4Runner. You see the Toyota logo going across, which I like to touch to it. It has the power lift gate, which I have mixed feelings on the power lift gate. Just had bad experiences with it, but they have a lot of room in the back of this Toyota 4Runner. This one doesn't have the little hump for the third row, so personally I prefer this one over the other one, and it has some space for putting your belongings and other stuff of that nature. I mean, very clean. I like the look of it. Obviously, if you're going for space, you're more so looking for the Sequoia. You're going for something a little bigger, but for the most part, it has a decent amount of space. But let's close this lift gate. Just hit the button up here. And then immediately once you close the lift gate, you see that they have the 4Runner badging going across. A lot of people have mixed feelings on this Me personally, I like it. I like the touch to it. It gives it that brand feel to it, and most 4Runner fans probably like it. I would assume so. Obviously, mixed feelings. And then you have the trailer hitch down here, and then you have the spare tire underneath right here, and then you have the tow hooks right here. So just little things that you would need for a vehicle like this. And yes, they did put the feature in the rear window, which I'm very glad they did. In order to get it to work when you're outside of the vehicle, you just hold the down arrow. If you want it to go down, you press and hold it. And if you want it to go up, you press and hold the up arrow. And you do have to have the key on you in order for this feature to work. But I'm very glad Toyota added that feature to the 2025 Toyota 4Runner. I do also want to mention, because I did tell you about the starting price of $55,470, but there are additional add-ons. Like, for example, the paint protection on the hood, that's an additional charge of $599, which if you look closely, you actually can see a little thin line going across the hood. Well, that is actually the paint protection, which is an additional $599. And that's also added on to that base price of $55,470 for this Toyota 4Runner. The moonroof, this costs $850 for this Toyota 4Runner. So that's an additional charge from that $55,470. The moonroof is an additional $850. So keep that in mind for a trim level or for the 4Runner that you want, because you may have to add this on. So this one in particular, that is an add-on. But let's talk about some of the things you can see here. Like, for starters, you see the TRD engine start stop button, which I think is a cool touch. You also have heated and ventilated seats, which that's cool because you never had that in the Toyota 4Runner until this generation. You got the charging pad right here, which if you got to angle it right in order for it to work. It takes a little second, but if you angle it right, there it go. So it's charging the phone currently at the moment, so that works good. You have the TRD shift knob. So, and then you also have the modes, if you look up here, that's on the digital gauge cluster. And I like how they animated the 4Runner as well. So you can see it going from different modes, sport mode, and then it goes into normal mode to eco mode. I'm gonna leave it in normal mode for this video, but you see that the Toyota 4Runner has a bunch of new and different features. Me personally, I like the way this one drives a lot better than the 5th generation 4Runner. It's not as loud as the 5th generation. This one is quieter, and I feel like it moves a bit quicker in my own personal opinion. It's a lot smoother. Okay, so another cool feature that comes with the 6th generation Toyota 4Runner is the backup camera. It has the bird eyes view, which I'm not gonna lie, this feature alone makes me want this vehicle, because this is the 4Runner that I'm currently in, backing into this spot, and you can see the lines in between. Do you see, as I move the steering wheel, you could actually see the lines move with me with the steering wheel? Well, that's put me in the spot, so I can solely trust this animation going into this spot. That's the actual physical vehicle going into the spot. So that's actually parked. So right now, all I'm using is this animation in order to park. So I can park it perfectly into the spot using the animation alone. And that's the bird's eye view from the backup camera. Right here, you can see the 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, which I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of tech in the vehicle due to past experiences. But they also have here on the dash, right in the center, the JBL speaker, which it actually has Toyota right here engraved in it, which I think is a cool feature. And you can click it right back into the dash right in the center, right there. And then you have the 14-inch touchscreen display, which is plenty of room, is very functionable. It works perfectly fine to the touch. So I think that's a cool little update inside the Toyota 4Runner, because you never had a display like this before until the 6th generation. There is one other add-on, which is the all-weather floor mats 4Runner, and there also is a all-weather floor mat in the back, which, check it out. As you can see, very nice, but it is an additional $359 in order to get those all-weather floor mats. So if you want those in your Toyota 4Runner, expect to pay around $359 in order to have the all-weather floor mats. And they do have the soft tech seats. The front seats are heated and ventilated, like I said earlier in the video. They also have the soft techs right here in the back as well. And I can get in there and also show you how much space is back there, because personally, I don't believe the Toyota 4Runner has a lot of space in the back seats, but check it out. I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but I'm not the shortest guy in the world. So this is me sitting in the back. I got some decent leg room, but this is after me pulling up the front seat a little bit in order to have this leg room. And this is my head from the ceiling of the vehicle. So, I mean, and then this is me sliding over. So kind of take it with a grain of salt. Not the most space in the world. I don't believe you could fit 3 people back here comfortably. I definitely think 2 people could fit back here with a decent amount of comfort, but 3 is probably a little tight back here. That's what the 2025 Toyota 4Runner has to offer. Well, at least the TRD off-road premium Toyota 4Runner in the Everest color. But I didn't finish telling you exactly how much this one in particular costs, because I left one thing out, the delivery fee, which is $1,500, $1,500, which will bring the overall total to $58,778 in order to get this Toyota 4Runner, drive it off the lot. So if you want this vehicle, you would have to spend $58,778 with all the add-ons that we talked about throughout the video. But let me know your opinions down in the comments. But that's everything I got to say about it. So like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all guys on the next one.